All right, it's story time. So, upgraded the engine on this thing, and I made a few mistakes. And as I like to do, I like to show you guys the mistakes I've made, so therefore you don't make the same ones, and we all learn. Okay, so the first one is with so the factory fuel lines are down here. They normally go to some hard lines that go under the engine. My setup's a bit different. I've got my return regulator here. This is my feed. There's my filter. So it goes from the feed to the first set of injectors, across the engine, round, back up via, so underneath there's a ethanol content sensor, and then up into the regulator. Now, on my fuel filter here, there is a barb, but the hard line, which is just there, is about 8 millimeters, and my barb is not quite 8 millimeters, so I was getting a fuel leak here. When I bought this fuel filter, it actually came with an AN6 fitting, and I put the barb on there, but clearly it's not big enough for this piece of hose, and so it was leaking fuel down there. So how are we going to fix this? Well, got my solution right here. So this is a 5/16 to AN6 fitting, and inside it, in there's a little brass ferrule. If I unscrew it. Okay, so little brass ferrule. So this bit will go onto the hard line, like so, just there onto the hard line. The ferrule will go on, and then this bit will tighten down, and that will convert that hard line to AN6. All right, so that will go on the hard line. Then we have a piece of AN6 hose that I made up, just here. Got an AN6 straight fitting, so that will go onto there. It's got another AN6 straight fitting, so the same as this one. But I've got the original AN6 fitting for the filter, which is, I don't know what this thread is, but it's an ORB fitting with an O-ring. So that will go onto the fuel filter just there. That will go there, and that'll adapt the hard line to AN. So then it's all sealed, it all works. Bob's your uncle. So that's the first one. That's adapting the hard line to AN, to your fuel filter, etc. All right. Now, one of the videos prior to this, I showed how I'd made a mistake with my fuel relay setup, and so I had, the cable was not big enough, and I melted one of the posts on the top of the fuel hat inside here. Now, that was the positive one, because my relay, which is up here, was not plugged in properly, created a bunch of resistance. It melted the fitting, the bulkhead that I used. Well, this time I melted the negative bulkhead fitting, and the reason for that was, this is my old ground. I've just spray paint around it, but it was, or is, a riv nut into the bare metal going along this wire to the fuel hat. Now, what's bad about that is this riv nut created a lot of resistance, similar to how having the relay unplugged did for the positive, and so therefore it melted the negative bulkhead. So what is the solution? So I've painted over the bare metal again here, but what I've done is I drilled a hole, excuse me, and I was able to reach under and poke this bolt up, and I've got this little doodad here that grips into the metal, and all this now is grounded straight to the metal. Okay. But I just thought, because that was a bit tricky to do, and in some situations you can't necessarily, like I was able to reach under. Is that soaked in fuel? Yes. Okay. I was able to reach under and poke the bolt hole through, and I actually held it up with a magnet while I threaded on the nut to hold it on there. But what if you can't do that? Well, you can use a riv nut, as I did, just here. But the way to do it is to get a ring terminal that goes over the outside and then use a washer that grounds the ring terminal and or the wire directly to the body. So it's not actually going through my riv nut. If this wasn't painted, that would be going straight to the body. And so I've got two sizes of ring terminals here. Just get one out of the smaller size. Nope, they're all stuck together. Okay, got one of the smaller size, and that fits over perfectly. So what you do is you get your riv nut, take a ring terminal, and make sure that it fits around the outside so the ring terminal can ground straight to the body. So I could probably still use this mount here with this ring terminal if I wanted to. What you need to do is see how the riv nut is sitting proud of the ring terminal. You also need to have a washer that's bigger that will make sure that when you do up the bolt that you're holding this really tight to the body. Okay, so this one is a 10mm ring terminal. This really big one is a 12mm. I think this is an M3, so the 10mm will fit over the M3. This one here is an M5, and the 12mm will fit over the M5 terminal. So I don't necessarily need these now because I found that solution with the bolt. But I'll just show you. Please excuse the bouncing camera. I have a very bad knee and I'm having trouble walking. Oh yeah, just ignore that thing. Fuck you. So, all right, so this is the result of, this is the fuel hat. This is the good positive stud with insulator still intact. Now, we're not entirely sure. This is what remains of the stud. See how melted that? So what I'd actually done was I 3D printed some of these isolators out of PETG material. Don't do that, because I believe PETG reacts with the petrol. So it may have been the petrol reacting with it has caused it to do this. It may be the riv nut causing extra resistance and the heat caused this to melt. I mean, that's pretty melted. So I actually found out these bulkhead terminals here, this material that they've used is acetyl or Delrin. If you did want to 3D print some, PMO is the same thing. That's acetal or Delrin. But I've just ordered another pair, so I'll have one more for the negative, and then one spare. So when you do these up, this fitting here, there's one on the bottom and one on the top, the black plastic bits, they thread onto the bulkhead, and when you do everything up, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, don't make my mistake. For those that don't know, who haven't seen this before, what it is I'll put that in there. So this is the factory connector for the fuel pump wiring. It can only take a certain amount of current. What often happens is people put an upgraded pump in. This one's 340 liters per hour. Anything 255 and above, you're going to want to do this. So normally the pump, these two wires are connected to this connector, and the fuel pump wiring goes through here. There's a connector in the base, in the seat well, and I disconnected it from this, and I ran it to a relay, and then the relay runs the power to these two studs. So that way the fuel pump is now getting its power through these two studs directly from the battery. So this can run at full force, and when it is running at full force, it's pulling its most amount of current. It won't melt this connector and or potentially start a fire. So yeah, this is what you do. You drill a hole in the top. You have these little insulators, not these ones because they're made of the wrong material, but they go in like that. They insulate, say, the positive from the hat or the negative. So plastic bits on, bolt through, and you do it up from the bottom. So you go through your negative terminal, up like that, and then now inside the car you attach your wires there, and they get their full 12 volts. You know, if it pulls 30 amps of current, it's all good, because all of this can take that. I mean, look, this is what it did to the boot that was on the negative terminal. So yeah, if you found that helpful, leave us a like. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I don't know the answer to everything, but I can definitely happy to share what I do know. And click subscribe if you want to see how much power the blue car makes, or you want to see any more of my failures and or high-tech videos. Thanks for watching.